And then I always would, see moments and think, gosh, if I just had a camera, if I just knew how to use a camera, wouldn't that be a great picture? I just remember growing up like that. So I was always really fascinated, but just had no idea how to use a camera.
Okay.
So I kind of feel through it. I'm very non-technical, but that's kind of how I shoot.
That's super interesting, right? So you didn't have a super formal training.
No, not at all.
On how to do that.
No,
stuff.
I'm told I do it wrong, but it works for me. So.
I mean,
yeah.
The pictures are stunning.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure you're told that like literally every time you do
I love
pictures
it.
for somebody.
Yeah. I think, I like to use light. I like color. I like texture. And then obviously I like people's faces. So, and I like to get them really natural.
So but if you were failing classes in high school for photography,
yes.
then you were interested in so you've always had an interest. Like this has always been something that's kind of lit your fire a little bit.
I think from a really young age, I studied light. I always was really fascinated with light coming through trees or light coming on a window or how it would hit your face. I was always I just remember that as a kid. And then I always would, see moments and think, gosh, if I just had a camera, if I just knew how to use a camera, wouldn't that be a great picture? I just remember growing up like that. So I was always really fascinated, but just had no idea how to use a camera.
Yeah.
So
now you know how to use a camera.
I do.
But you're just using it wrong.
And I teach it too sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Much more early on in my career, not so much anymore, but I taught how I learned. And people were able to walk out of the class and know how to shoot in manual. So
is that how you shoot all the time?
Mm-hmm. It's the only way.
So that means you have to dial it in every single time, right? So, tell me what the considerations are.
Well,
what do you factor in?
It's almost like riding. It's almost like driving a stick shift car. People are always saying you change your light changes all the time. So I'm constantly changing the settings on my camera. I actually don't even realize I'm doing it anymore. So I think when you first start out, you're really thoughtful about it. But I kind of know what works, and the only way I can explain it is I just kind of feel through it.
Is that all lights or is that colors?
Color
color's
too.
A factor
Color
too,
too, and just the way the light's hitting it and so forth. Like if you want to make it moody, you can kind of set your camera to you can take the same situation and make it moody or super bright. When you shoot in manual, you have full control of the camera.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of photographers now that have taken my class, and so it's kind of nice to see.
That's awesome.
I like to be able to pass that along to people that were, kind of really intimidated by it.
So would you say that one teacher was like the decision could have gone either way, but that one person kind of got into you and whoosh. He
just told me, you really need to do this. You really need to do this. You got a great eye. And I think that's really, ultimately, you might not, Eric Chanteau is a perfect example of a person that doesn't know how to use a camera, but he's got he works on an iPhone. I didn't know that. He asked me one time, hey, can I come and show up at one of your shoots and see how you shoot? And I said, sure. So I'm expecting him to bring a camera, and he brought his iPhone, and I said, well, where's your camera? And he said, I don't know how to use a camera.
Right.
And he's well known with his work, and he's got a great eye. So as long as you can just learn it, and it's not as hard as people make it to be.
Well,
it really isn't.
Yeah, but shutting the automatic thing off,
yes,
is kind of hard.
Well, you can get into trouble.
For people.
Yeah, I've had people call me saying they're shooting a wedding in auto and they got in trouble because then the camera makes the decision for the light and you're not making this. So your camera might be saying,
and
I have a
focus on, right?
Right.
Sometimes.
So you always want to be in control of your settings.
Yeah.